Well, let us start with that breaking news that I just read out in the headlines. Breaking news from Gaza, because the Civil Defense Agency says Israeli forces have killed at least 77 people in the territory today in what has been described as the deadliest wave of Israeli airstrikes on Gaza this week. Those killed include 23 people near aid distribution sites. Videos circulating on social media show bodies lying on the ground, among them 2 children. In Gaza City, the largest urban centre in the Gaza Strip, Israeli warplanes struck 5 separate locations, including a Hamas police centre, 2 residential homes and a school sheltering displaced families. Witnesses said that is coming from witnesses. We've had no comments so far from Israel. Let's speak to our Gaza correspondent Rushdie Abu Alouf. And Rushdie, tell us a little more in terms of what you are hearing has happened on the ground.
Yeah, very intense Israeli airstrike started early morning with bombing about 5 houses in Jabalia town in the north, where about 15 people were killed and many others were missing under the building, according to the Hamas-controlled civil defense agency. Straight away after that, Gaza City, the biggest city in the entire of Gaza Strip, has witnessed about 10-12 airstrikes. Very unusual number of airstrike for about a week. We have seen less intense Israeli airstrike following the escalation with Iran, but today is completely different. In Shati refugee camp, the beach camp west of Gaza, is a very crowded area. Most of the people who were evacuated from the north following the Israeli operation were taking shelters in that camp. About 23 people were killed, many others were injured. I have seen a video shared by activists in the place, showing bodies in the ground, including a girl and a boy, at least were shown in the videos. The hospitals are overwhelmed by the number of injuries, and airstrikes is everywhere. I mean, people describe it to me just now in Gaza City as if the war has just started.
Has there been any response from the IDF, the Israeli authorities?
Well, I haven't seen any comment yet, but you know, some of the local resident and local activists in Gaza linked this to sudden, deployed of Hamas police, some of them in civilian uniform, some of them in masked in the street. They try to regain control, taking the leverage of Israeli busy with the Iran now, and the number of Israeli drones that is monitoring Gaza day and night, they are significantly less than before the escalation with Iran. So Hamas is trying to, regain its control of wide areas, because for the last 2-3 months, Israel was bombing any sort of Hamas police units or any Hamas militants trying to regain control. So they try to regain the control in Gaza. Some of the people linked the latest big Israeli strikes to this.
As we said in the introduction, included in those numbers, apparently 23 people near an aid distribution site. Only yesterday, Philippe Lazzarini, the head of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA, has said it is now routine, I'm reading a quote directly, it is now the routine to shoot and kill desperate and starving people while they try to collect food. There is alarm, certainly from the UN and other agencies, just the normalisation now about these incidents so close to the aid distribution site.
Yes, because simply what is happening is that every day trucks coming from Israeli side, Israeli control border, and as soon as they come off the crossings close to the Israeli troops, thousands of people, thousands of hungry people would rush to take any food from this. In the south, it's a little bit better because there is 4 or 5 centers to distributing food, but these areas are also under Israeli control in Rafah and in Khan Yunis, and the killing of people near centers has become a daily routine. Every day we have people killed there. Yesterday there was 12, 13 in Gaza. The day before was the biggest, about 51 were killed. And the Hamas-run Civil Defense Agency said more than 450 people so far killed within the last 2 weeks, just people hungry trying to get food.
Rushdie, we will leave it there. We will return if there are any more details. Thanks very much for the latest on that breaking development.